Hello, hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Trina. Yes, today, come on in. I want you to help me to make some fettuccine Alfredo. Yes. So, fettuccine Alfredo, chicken Alfredo, but the part that you're going to see is probably more about the fettuccine Alfredo. This is going to be a quick live, hopefully. I am behind schedule a tad bit, but I wanted you to come in here and help me to make this Alfredo sauce for our clients today. So let me reintroduce myself. My name is Trina Edwards, and I'm a business strategist where I am helping cooks to turn their passion into profits. Okay, that is what I do. Okay, so if you are an aspiring cook and you are ready to get your business out here to the public, then we need to connect. Okay, I want to let you know about the first module. I have broken it down. The first module that I will be having in my class is going to be talking about niche. Getting clear on who you are going to be serving. Hello, hello, hello. So we're going to talk about that in a few, but we need to get this sauce started and going. If you be so kind, let me know where you are viewing from. I love to know where you're coming from so I can acknowledge you. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give StreamYard the opportunity to have access to your information, okay? So give me just 1 second. I want to see if I can read the comics on my other device, and then we're going to get started, okay? Hold on, hold on. Let me see if I can see and hear you okay. Oh, shucks. My goodness. It's not popping up yet. It's not popping up just yet, but that's okay. We're going to get started, but we're getting ready to make some Alfredo sauce for the fettuccine Alfredo, okay? I already, let me tone you in over here. I already have my noodles over there, okay? Keep in mind, fettuccine takes longer to cook, anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes, okay? So that's not quite ready. But what we're going to need for this, Alfredo sauce is, I broke my recipe down in half, first of all, because the recipe I have in my savory cookbook here that I am creating says that I will need, it's going to make up a gallon. Now, I don't want a gallon. So let me share with you the ingredients, okay? If you can see them over here. We're going to need two sticks of butter. I have one in here already that's melting. Let me get this other one in here while I talk to you, okay? We cut it in half. I don't want to, there you go. We cut it in half. We cut the recipe in half. So what we're going to do is 2 sticks of butter, some minced garlic, heavy cream. We're going to need some Parmesan cheese. Now, I like to use Fontina cheese, but the store didn't have any Fontina cheese, so we're going to use a different, it's called Gouda cheese, okay? It's a nice soft cheese. All right, after you have that, you're going to need about a half a cup of milk. I cut the recipe in half. This recipe I normally use when I was in a restaurant, and I would make a batch in gallon. So what you want to do is make sure you got your heat on low. You don't want your butter to burn. You can see that, okay? It's melting now, and we're gonna make a roux. With that being said, you're gonna need some flour. I forgot the flour. We're gonna need some flour, okay? Because what we're gonna do is make a roux. A roux is a thickening agent. It's gonna help bind this sauce together. And we are multitasking, so I have to keep checking my pasta to make sure it doesn't stick. You want to make sure you use the right utensils for these type of pots. It's a Dutch oven. Now, that's not quite ready. Put that right there. So as my butter, I'm going to turn this up now that I can focus on it. I want this butter to melt, all right? I'm going to allow it to melt. All right, while it's melting, I might as well get started on grating my cheese. I was gonna grate it straight into the pot, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna grate it right here in this bowl. Okay. So what I have here, actually, I have another device I might want to use. This is one of the graters I'm going to use, okay? I was going to use my other one, but I can handle this better. As I wait for the butter to burn, I'm watching it. You multitasking. You're watching your pasta so it doesn't get too soft. You need to know, with that being said, you need to know how your client likes their food, okay? I'm going to switch this around because I know that my client, they don't like that restaurant style texture. So I'm going to grate this cheese in this bowl for now. I was going to save time and elbow grease and just grate it inside the pot, but the butter is not melting fast enough. So what you're going to do is you're going to grate your cheese. I could have pre-grated this already, but I didn't want to. I wanted to grate it with you. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to continue to grate this cheese, about half of it, into this bowl. I'm still watching my butter so it doesn't burn. It's almost melted, fully melted. All right. Keep grating the cheese. This is a nice soft cheese. You know, I normally don't make Alfredo too often because my recipe Alfredo is expensive, okay? This cheese alone, I think it costs like $6. The heavy cream itself costs $3. But sometimes I like to just treat my clients to something special. Share a little love, put a little love in there, let them know that I appreciate them. Because after all, they are repeat clients. So I'll just love to love on them sometimes. You know, and that's another thing you're going to want to know more about your clients. Now, because I'm multitasking, I'm going to stop. Check my noodles again. Keep stirring them. If I can get this to act right. Kind of get the texture for them. They're almost ready. You know, my clients, they like their stuff soft. Soft. I have one lady, she has some, she needs to go to the dentist, so she always reminded me about having her food softer, okay? So, we grate this cheese up. You can use fontina cheese or Gouda. They're both soft cheeses. You'll have to find them over in the produce section, the special cheese section in the store. Which I asked one of the workers there, they didn't even know what I was talking about. So I had to remember where I got it from. So I'm gonna check on this butter again. It's getting melted. It's melting now. I'm using this whisk today because the other one keeps falling apart. So let me check my noodles. So that's one of the things you're gonna have to get used to when you probably know already, but just in case you don't, gonna be good at multitasking. Keeping your eye on the butter, making sure it's not burning, because nobody wants to burn. Now this is how I'm gonna test my noodles. Nope, need a little more longer, just a little bit. Now we're gonna make the roux here, okay? A roux is just basically equal parts oil and flour. So my butter is melted. My butter is melted. Let me see if I can pull you closer. Ugh, here we go. Butter is melted. All right, and we're gonna put the flour in here and let it cook. And get this cheese out of here. So you're gonna make your roux. It's a thickening agent here. Gonna help bring the sauce together. That's all it's gonna do. I'm gonna keep adding until I get like a paste, a pasty. Not quite yet. Okay. When you get to doing clients and customers and their repeat customers, you're gonna want to make sure that you have your recipe all written out, because one thing your customer is returning for is that same great taste. Now, some of you have issues with following the recipe, but when that client calls back and say they want that same dressing the way you had it last time, and you don't remember how you made it, you're going to have to be prepared to listen to your clients a little bit complaining, so you don't want that. That's why it's so important. Don't pour all that in. That's why it's so important to keep your recipes together, okay? Now, if you're cooking for your family, that's a different subject, okay? You can go ahead and throw this in there, throw that in there. But when you begin to start cooking for multiple people in batches, they're coming back because they want that same great taste. So there's some pros and cons. I'm gonna put a little more flour in here because it's not thick as I want it. Okay, I don't know if you can see the consistency of that, but it's getting there. Okay, so we're gonna let that cook for just a minute. I want the flour taste to get up out of there. Okay. And in the meantime, I'm gonna check the noodles again. They were almost ready. Like I said, keep an eye on that. You pull one out and taste it. I think they're almost there. Another few seconds and they'll be ready. Okay? So I'm going to turn this down for a second so that I can take the noodles off, okay? So we are multitasking in here today. We're on a little bit of a time crunch according to my schedule, not to theirs, but I like to be finished with my meal by 4:30 so I can be plating by 4:45 and then out the door by 5 o'clock. So our noodles is ready. I have the colander in the sink. I'm gonna dump these off. So those are finished. Let's see, let's turn this down on low. Check our roux here. Check our thickening agent here. Got cheese already that fell on the floor. And in the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'm going to get a few of these little noodles out of here because I have plans for this skillet. Now that the noodles are out, we got to get ready for the vegetables, okay? So while that's cooking, I want to start on my vegetables here. I told you we were multitasking today. Got my dishwater over there. Now, they're gonna have some zucchini and squash with onions, okay? That's what they're gonna have. They're gonna have chicken Alfredo, zucchini and squash with onions, and possibly some garlic bread, okay? So why am I cooking this roux? I want the flavor, the flour flavor to, evaporate a little bit. I don't want my sauce to taste like flour, okay? So In the meantime, I'm going to keep stirring and stirring and stirring and wonder what happened to my oil. I had some oil sitting around here somewhere. Okay, hold on. Let me locate it. I put it back. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put some oil in this pan for my vegetables. Now, if you've noticed, I got started with the vegetables, keeping an eye on this, multitasking, keeping an eye on this so it don't burn. What I did is I took my vegetable peeler and I peeled these. I peeled them somewhat, as you see, because I'm looking for a little decoration on them. So we're going to start chopping those. I'm going to turn my fire up here. I'm going to chop them and then I'm going to just put them in the pot because I'm moving to the next stage. So what you want to do is make sure you got the right cutting board for your vegetables. No cross-contamination here, okay? Put you a wet towel up under your cutting board so that your cutting board doesn't go moving around. And I'm still multitasking. What I am going to do, I'll move this out the way so you can see. I'm going to cut off the ends, keeping an eye on my, and I'm just going to cut these, what they call on the bias. Not too thick. If I wanted to, I could probably just rock the knife back and forth, but maybe I should have cut them in half. They look pretty big. This is a big zucchini. And see what I just did? It created a little design. Uh-oh. Make sure I'm stirring it. It created a little design. Okay? Now I'm going to toss those in here. But the next one, I think I'm going to cut in half because those are big. So I'm going to do the same thing I did over here. You see I have that here. I'm going to cut this in half this time. Oh, maybe this, like this. Cut it in half. Check on my roux. Okay. And then do it this way. I like the half moons better. A little more manageable. And then I'm going to keep on doing that with the rest of my zucchini. Add my squash. Dice up some onions. Let that saute, okay? So let's get finished with the Alfredo sauce. I can come back to this. That's on low anyway. Okay, I think we can turn this up now and let's hop to it with this Alfredo sauce, all right? So we just made a roux. We have our equal parts fat, whatever, vegetable oil, canola oil, and flour, fat and flour. All right, equal parts, 1 and 1. So now that I got a somewhat, I don't know what you call it, the texture that I'm looking for, you know, you can make it a little thicker if you want. I'm going to start adding my liquids, okay? I'm going to start adding my liquids. The first thing I'm going to add in here, and what's going to happen, this is going to thicken up. Maybe, you know what I want to do? Oh, I didn't open this anyway. What I want to do is add some garlic first. Heavy cream. You got 1 quart of heavy cream. 1 quart of heavy cream, okay? Now, I'm going to add some garlic in here. About 1.5 teaspoons. Seeing how this is the end of that, I'm going to dump all this in here. Ain't nothing but a drop in here. That's 1 teaspoon. The original the original recipe said to put, just throw that all in there. The original recipe said put a tablespoon. I'm only doing half the recipe, which is gonna give me a half a gallon, not a full gallon. I don't want a full gallon of Alfredo sauce, because then I would have to find somewhere to put the rest, okay? So we got the garlic in there. We can add a little salt, little pepper, okay? If you want your sauce to be white, then use white pepper, okay? But for the sake of this demonstration, we're gonna use what we got. So now I'm gonna put in the heavy cream. Pour it in there slowly. Keep stirring, because you want to get the lumps out. Keep stirring. I have this on medium. Keep stirring. It's giving me a little resistance here. Keep stirring. All right. Keep stirring. Now it's kind of looking like cream of wheat. All righty. So there's the 1 quart heavy cream. Now I'm going to add the half a cup of regular milk. Okay. So as I work with this, then we're going to just add some Parmesan. We're going to add 8 ounces of Parmesan to this. Okay. I'm going to allow this to get warm. Once this come up to warm, gets a little hotter, then I'll add my cheese. Then you can taste. You're going to add your Parmesan cheese, and then you're going to add your Gouda or your Fontina, whichever one you found at the store, okay? And then that's going to be it, okay? You're going to allow this to thicken up some more. It's thickening now. Maybe because I got it up there. But I don't want to add my cheese just yet because I want it to melt as soon as I put it in there, okay? So as I'm watching this, I'm going to go back to my zucchini. Now I'm going to show you what I did with this zucchini. Maybe I'll do it over here. But I rinsed off my zucchini. I used my peeler. I didn't peel the whole thing. I just kind of peeled it like this. Every other section. And that's how I'm going to make the little designs on here after I chop it up, okay? That's something you can incorporate in your cooking if you want it to look a little different. If you don't want it to look, uh-oh, this is getting a little thick too. Multitasking, okay? So now that I'm keeping my eye on it and I hear this cooking, I want to get the rest of my zucchini in here. I'm going to chop off the edges. Put that in the garbage. Put this in the sink. Then I'm going to cut this on the bias diagonally. Oh, I thought I was going to cut it in half, but they're kind of big. Cut it in half. And then chop it like half moons, okay? And then I'm going to put the lid on here so that this can get finished, okay? So one of the things you're going to have to do is know how to multitask, as you see. Multitask. This cream is getting warm. It's not quite where I want it to be yet. I'm going to turn this up because we have a time deadline that we're trying to accomplish. I still got to get the chicken on. So, that's one of the things you're going to have to be able to master in your cooking industry is multitasking. Especially if you don't have any help as of yet. Okay, I probably could have pressed these zucchini earlier, but I didn't. now I finally get to my squash. Yellow squash, should I say. Okay. Chop this in half. Want to make sure you got a sharp knife. That's why I'm using this big one here. No time to monkey around with no dull knife. Check on my sauce. Oh, it's thick. It's getting thicker. Getting thicker. Put those in there. And then you just be moving, trying to get it done. Okay? If you can't multitask, don't worry about it. Focus on one thing and do the other. But you want to make sure everything comes out hot. Everything comes out hot. So that's basically what's going on over here today. We're gonna put the Parmesan in here. Start adding that in here. Looks like it's a little warm. Okay. Keep on adding the Parmesan. Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. I'm gonna let that warm, and then I'm gonna put my cheese in there, and that's it. That's how you make the Alfredo sauce. In the meantime, I'm gonna finish cutting up my zucchini and squash. Put a lid on it and get to working on my chicken. Okay. So that's it for today. I thought it was gonna be a quick video, but nevertheless, if you're ready to get started with getting a little clearer on your niche as far as your food industry, whether it's baking, whether it's cooking, whatever you want to do, Caribbean food, soul food, Jamaican food, you can register for the class over at bit.ly/cook4cash 2021, and it only costs $197. What you're gonna learn in that course, you're gonna learn how to get clear on who you're serving. Okay, there's a lot of different things we're gonna be discussing, but one of the main things is gonna help you to target your ideal client. Okay, because everyone is not your client. Thank you for joining. I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye bye.